Hi there guys, I'm Chris Bowden and welcome back to the set. Today we're going to take a minute and dig into one of the coolest bits of technology that I get to play with on a daily basis, a teleprompter. A teleprompter is a really simple arrangement of a piece of glass, a screen, and a camera with a black box that has the effect of making me look a hell of a lot smarter than I actually am. 8 feet across the room from where I'm doing my thing is this giant contraption. And if you look in here, you can see all kinds of text that you can't read. But if you look up here, hey look, it's got a script on it. This is a special script. So what this is doing is giving whoever's standing there, we'll assume me, the right words to say at the right time without having to pause to think about what they're going to say next. That's it. That's all this does is feed lines to the person. You can put anything you want on the screen. You can absolutely use pictures and stuff like that, but most people only use a simple script. That's what goes on here. It projects on here backwards because you're looking at its reflection in a mirror, and the way this is set up mimics a really old school magic trick that goes back like 100 years called Pepper's Ghost. So if you want to go down a really cool internet rabbit hole, look up Pepper's Ghost. This is used, the same exact effect, in order to cheat. We're lying to the viewer. That's the entire system here, is a way to lie to the viewer. Because what it does is, the person behind the podium gets to look directly into a camera and deliver a script to camera, which is hard to do, without having to memorize it, which makes it a lot easier to do. The way this works is, the person at the podium only sees the script. Even though they're looking at the camera, they can only see the script. The camera can't see the script because this is reflected on the other side of the glass. The camera is back here. Ta-da! This is our big, beautiful Sony camera, and you can't see the camera through the box. The camera can't see the words. We can destroy the entire illusion with a very high-tech photon emitter. Let's take a look over here. If we're standing in front and we're looking at the script, all I have to do is shine a light and you can see the camera. It jumps right out. And the reason is this mirror is creating a huge illusion. For one, it hides all the dust and dirt on the inside of it. Wow. Okay, never shine a light into your old teleprompter. So that's how this works. If you want to get more into the details of the effect and how all that works, there's a really amazing person named Alec who does a video series called Technology Connections. There's a link to that below in the description, and you should absolutely subscribe to him. He's amazing. We're going to take a minute and talk about the technical side of how you can do this at home. The cool thing is, there's no limit to how inexpensive or expensive you can make a teleprompter. You can go out and buy professionally made rigs, like this is a professionally built rig. These things in the real world, 4-digit price tags. Like you can spend $1,000 without even trying on building a teleprompter setup. Or you can do it really cheap, and I'm going to show you how. Alright, so the first thing you need to know is this website. It's called qprompter.com. There's a link to it below in the description. And this is a free online teleprompter. All you have to do, depending on your setup, you may have to download a font. There's a link to the font right on the page here. It's a super simple web page. You copy paste your text into here. You select the height and the width and a couple basic color choices. Like, it's really stupid simple. Click go. You got a teleprompter. You can do this on a regular screen. Like the absolute cheapest way to do this, do it on a regular screen, a junk computer, an old crappy laptop or tablet you got laying around. Just punch it in, off you go, and you just set this next to the camera. As long as you don't have the camera too close to the person, you'll probably be fine. People are really bad at exactly figuring out where somebody's looking. Like if you're off by a mile, like, you know, old days of cue cards, they'll notice that. But if you're reasonably close, you're going to be fine. The trick to that is get the camera away from the person. A really tight shot like this where the camera's like a meter away from my nose isn't going to work for teleprompter stuff. But if you get it away a bit, you'll be fine. So that website, qprompter.com, that handles all your software technical stuff. You can take this to extreme levels. I'm using it here on a big full rig with a remote operated foot switch. That's the thing, you can learn about them on here. You can get USB foot switches. That's basically a USB keyboard with only 3 buttons on it. And that'll let you start, stop, pause. And you can do that with this because if you're shooting this alone, you really want to have some kind of control for start, stop, pause, speed, things like that. It makes it a lot easier. Otherwise, get used to a lot of fussing around. If you're messing with a teleprompter, you're already into the world of a lot of fussing around. So here's the other side that you need. A piece of glass. That's it. Piece of glass mounted inside a black box and you have a prompter. It all works because of one really simple bit of math. The angle of incidence equals the angle of reflection. So if you have your screen horizontal and you're going to read it vertical, you have to cut that angle in half. Hey look, 45 degrees. This is going to bounce off there and out. If you just want to do this on a screen, all you need is the website. If you want to do this with an actual teleprompter setup, you need a piece of glass mounted in a dark box. And if you really want it to work well, you'll need some scrap black fabric, just heavy. You can do this with like an old black hoodie, okay? As long as it's dark and non-reflective. Black is best, and the material should be about as thick as what you're gonna find in a sweatshirt or a hoodie. Don't use t-shirt material, it isn't quite thick enough. But you wrap the front of your camera in the hoodie, and the hoodie goes to the back of the box. And you really can just like tack this in place with big flat like furniture tacks would be really awesome for this. This isn't rocket science. You can do this. They cost thousands of dollars to buy serious rigs like this, but that's because they're designed to be portable and they're designed to tear apart and go back together and be infinitely variable and all that jazz. You're building a mission specific thing. It has one job for one purpose using just your camera, so it only has to work with one camera. Because your rig is just for you, you don't have to have all the variability and adjustability to it. You can build exactly what you need to do what you want to do, and you can do that out of cardboard and a piece of glass. Okay, you could absolutely build one of these out of thin plywood or something like that that's just painted black. Okay, you can buy handy panels of 4mm plywood for nothing. It's like 10 bucks for a whole sheet. Spray paint it black, cut it into the pieces you need, and off you go. You can do this, and it'll work. Physics is physics. It doesn't care what the price tag is. It's all the same. So you just need a piece of glass. This particular piece is cut at the big wide angle, and that's so that it has to do with angles and how it works with the camera, but for what you're doing, an old piece of rectangular window glass would work just fine. You don't have to get super fussy with it. Just be careful how you mount it at the edges. Put it with some little bit of padding like a foam tape that they used here, and maybe a notch in a piece of wood, or in this case a little aluminum extrusion or something like that, and you're going to be fine. You can absolutely make this yourself. I have recycled a vintage one that is probably from the 80s. This thing is an antique. It's garbage. It's wonky. It doesn't sit level, which is really annoying. Take a look at this. This is the problem that I'm trying to fix at the moment. Look at the screen up high. Look at the top of the hood on the prompter. Do you see the problem? It's a little kittywampus. And that's a problem that I have to fix because the camera is a little cockeyed. Given that 99% of the time, well, pretty much 100% of the time, any of the video shot on this set isn't going to be looking this way. Nobody will ever know that this is a little cockeyed. But what they will know, this is the part that annoys the hell out of me. The minute I'm standing behind a lectern, this gives them a horizontal frame of reference. If it's just me against a screen, it can be a little, and that's okay, because I'll just tell people, you know, I live on the side of a hill or something. But the minute you put a horizontal frame of reference in here, if the video is angled a little bit, all bets are off. It's gonna look like hell. So I gotta figure out how to get this just perfect. But I think that just about covers everything you need to know on the basics of a teleprompter. If you have questions, by all means comment. I'm happy to do what I can to help. And certainly go check out Alex videos. He's brilliant, he's amazing, he's charismatic, he's wicked smart, and he's very, very well researched. He does his homework and he makes great stuff. I love this guy. You guys have fun. I'm Chris Bowden, and as always, we'll see you next time.